Welcome, everybody, to our Thursday night Basic Reset call. I am so excited and happy that you guys are all here. Welcome to all the affiliates, but I want to pay special attention to welcome anyone who is a guest on our calls this evening. We have some incredible information that we just cannot wait to share with you, and I think you are absolutely going to love the speakers that we have lined up for our call tonight. Now, my name is Penny Kyle, and I'm out of Hanford, California. She's located in Central California, and I am just so excited to be a part of such incredible products that work. Most of the time, we get involved because somebody recommended to us something that we liked, and it was absolutely incredible the way it happened for me. Now, I'd like to bring up my mentor, my sponsor, who recommended to me Basic Reset and these products, and his name is none other, I got my tongue twisted here, than Mr. Randy Steen. Are you here tonight, Randy?
I sure am, Penny. Thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you for welcoming everybody to the call tonight. You always do such a great job, and I certainly appreciate that very, very much. And guys and gals, what a lot of you don't know is that Penny does a tremendous amount of work in the background for the company. They don't pay her for that, extra things that she does, but she does it because she has a concern for helping you, and that's what's extremely important. So the first thing I'd like to do is welcome everybody here that's on the call tonight. You know, you're here for a reason, and the reason is that you discovered something that has changed your life, whether it be one of our products, which oftentimes it is, or maybe it's even our marketing program. Maybe that has touched your fancy, so to speak, where you said, gee, this is really cool. This is this crazy company that doesn't charge you anything to join, and then also doesn't require you to place an order in order to be active with the company or get commissions. So you're here for that reason, and those of you that are guests on the call, I want to give a special welcome to you, because you're here because of the people that I just talked about wanted you to be able to understand and know about something that they are experiencing in their life that they want you to be able to experience too. So I want to welcome all of you, excuse me, to the call tonight. We're going to have a great call tonight. In just a few minutes, I'm going to introduce to you a gentleman that spoke at our convention. I was absolutely astounded and floored. I mean, I knew what he was going to talk about. However, when he got up on the stage and he spoke, it was absolutely astounding because he was able to bring to us in a very easy-to-understand form ways of talking to people. And not only did he do this where he told us about it, we actually did it. He had us go into little groups of people and actually work with the stuff right there while he was training us. It's absolutely astounding, and you're going to hear from him in just a minute. I do have some housekeeping I want to do, however. Every time there's a pinned post, and the pinned post just simply means it's the very first post that you see, and it's there all the time. When you log into the Basic Reset Freedom Group room, there's a pinned post there put up there by Kim. And make sure that if you haven't read that you take the time to read it. And basically what it's telling you is that if you have an ad or something that you'd like to run, we'd like to have a copy. If you put an ad together, send a copy to Kim, so that where you send it is in that pin post, so that she can look at it and make sure that it's correct. But even more important than that, they will make it so that it's absolutely the way it should be for the company, and they will make it in high definition pretty much and repost it. So all you got to do is they'll do it in such a way that you can just go ahead and copy that ad and paste it for anybody. So it's really cool if you go ahead and read that post, so that you can make sure that everything that you're running goes along with the company's rules and regulations. What I mean by that is you're not making some kind of claim or something, and that'll be good. Now, at the end, after I introduce this next gentleman to you, I'm going to be talking about something that you're going to want to pay attention to, because I'm going to talk to you about how to triple and quadruple your income with this company by doing a very simple and easy thing. And today I posted a video that talked about it's all about them. And if you haven't looked at that video, it's in the Basic Reset Freedom Group room. And it's just to help you to understand that when you go to sponsor people, you oftentimes, or we have a tendency to think of the fact that, we're getting these people to build our business. And that's true. We are doing that. But when you're talking to somebody about this company, whether it's the product or the opportunity or the company in general, remember it's always about them. You see, it's about what you can do to help their life change, because that's what we do. You see, we go to people, we find out what their problems are, and we give them a solution. And so if you keep that in mind, you'll find out that they pick up on that, and you're very sincere. They know that you're sincere and that you care about them, that you're not just trying to get them in to make a buck. That's what it boils down to. And so if you'll remember that it's all about them, listen to what they say. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so that you'll listen twice as much as you speak, and you'll learn a lot more if you'll do that. And so I just wanted to reiterate that. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about I've got them in the business. Now what? A lot of times people will sponsor people and get them into the business, and they say, okay, go get them, Tiger. Well, the unfortunate thing is Tiger doesn't know what to do. So there's some simple things that you can tell them what to do, and, of course, that's all of what we learned at our convention this year by this next gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you right now. See, he taught us what to do. If you were at the convention, you got a chance to hear this guy. His name is Keith Schreider. And Keith is an author. He's been a very successful individual in the network marketing industry. He has written several books that talk about exactly what you need to do. And we have those books, by the way, available through our company. You can get a hold of the company and purchase them. But he tells you exactly what to do to build your business, the right words to say. And I don't know if you know this or not, but there are some skills you have to learn in this industry. One of those skills is learning how to say the right words to get people to respond to you in the right way so that you don't have to suffer things like rejection, or you get them to open up where they probably normally wouldn't do that because they think you're trying to sell them something. And you'll hear him say, people don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. And he's going to show you how to get people to buy. So he's on the call tonight because he's going to do a follow-up to our convention. So he's going to probably talk about some of the same things there. But it's my pleasure to introduce a fellow that's become my friend, and just a top-notch guy. And those of you that met him at the convention, this guy is the most down-to-earth professional guy I've ever met in my life. And he's a great guy. His name is Keith Schreider. Keith, are you there, my friend?
I am here, Randy. Did I unmute correctly?
Great, man.
I did. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you did. The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, excellent. Well, we can do a little bit of back and forth, just kind of see, what you really want to kind of follow up with. It was actually an amazing time there in Nashville. I know I snuck out about 15 minutes before the close, but I did see a lot of energy. People said, you know what, I understand now, and not just on the business side, but also on the product side. So you come out with that belief and say, you know what, I can do this. This is something I can do. And of course, if you weren't at the event, just making a commitment to go to the next event. And I love these conference calls you guys do every Thursday at 8 o'clock Central because it's kind of a mini event. So anytime you can keep plugged in, because things happen. We get distracted with, there's an election going on, and there's, all sorts of other stuff that's happening. But this is an industry for you. This is not for supporting a candidate or supporting a specific thing for somebody else. This business is just for you and your family if you choose this as a path, whether it's a couple $100, couple $1,000 extra, or a full-time income. It's all there for you. So it's really cool to be at the event because I like seeing that what you guys have put together over the past your first year going strong, and it's just going to grow from there if you choose to take the notes, whether it's on a previous conference call or the conference call that you guys are doing every week, and take the notes and apply it. I've gone to several events over the past 22 years where I come home and I get distracted, and I go, let me finish this other project. Let me finish the house project. Let me finish the car project. And then, the next thing you know, it's next year and I haven't gotten any progress. So if you could just, if anything, whether you're at the event or you had some notes from a previous conference call, make the commitment to do something tonight, which you can do tonight. You can do stuff on social media and also do stuff tomorrow. Do something to build your business tomorrow, because that's what's going to make a difference in your financial future, is if you just do something every single day that's gonna compound. You're just like compound interest. And that's the one thing. You just make the commitment to say, you know what, I don't have to talk to 100 people tomorrow or this week. Let me just make a couple new friends tomorrow. Let me just make a couple new contacts tomorrow. So regardless of what path you decide, make sure to make that commitment. So Randy, incredible time, and we're just kind of do a little back and forth and kind of see, what we can share in the limited time of the conference call. And what would you like us to share first, I guess?
Well, I think Keith, one of the things that's the most important that you went over on the convention, and you actually had people try it with each other, is this, because there's new people that are on this call and people that weren't at the convention that weren't able to hear everything that you said. But one of the problems that oftentimes people have is prospecting with people, finding others and when they do find them, they don't know what to say to them. And those are things, a couple of those things that you covered at the convention. And I think we should, if we can, those are the two most important things, I think, to cover on the call tonight is, who do you look for? And, of course, you talked about that as far as, telling how people are kind of like different colors, what those colors actually mean, and then what to say to them. What are the right words to say to get somebody to open up to you to say, gee, can you tell me more? And so I think if we could cover that, that would be really cool.
Okay, terrific. Well, the first thing, I'll go with the extremely easy one first. This is something that every single person can do. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in. It doesn't matter if you work nights or third shifts or anything like that. Social media is just a small percentage of something that you can do, that everybody could do, I should say. So if you have a Facebook account, I choose Facebook because it's probably the most widely accepted. I know there's certain demographics that do Instagram and Twitter, but Facebook just seems to be the most general focused one. So I'll just take Facebook, for example, is that we say, here's some habits that you need to do in your business. Of course, personal development's a big one, and we're going to have an entire hour call on personal development. Of course, you're on this call, so you pretty much know that you should be listening to positive things. But one of the habits that we strongly urge people to do is just to make a new contact every single day. And some people go, well, I can do that. It's one a day. There's 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep. I have to eat. I have to go to work. I can make one contact a day. And then some people go, whoa, there's no way. It's impossible. I do the same thing every day. I telecommute. I see the same people every day. There's absolutely no way I can make a new friend every day. So there's two sides of the coin. Now, we're not perfect. I've never been perfect in anything I've done. I've never been perfect in math. I've never been perfect in any grade. I've never been perfect in making one new contact a day. I don't really know anybody that has been completely 100% successful. It's just impossible. You could take the sports analogy. Oh, well, if you're a baseball player, you strike out more than you hit home runs. And there's so many things we could do. So, but the goal is to do one new contact a day. So one of the things that you could do is as I mentioned, we take Facebook, for example, and say, how could I expand my friends list? And not to prospect them, not to, let me find certain people that are entrepreneurs, nothing like that, but just, how do I increase my friends list? And it's going to boil down to, you're going to get a bigger friends list, and then eventually they'll ask, what you're doing. Eventually they'll see some posts of not just, talking about your product, your opportunity, but just, in common conversation, your business will come up. And it's all about increasing your friends list. And this is what we've been teaching for almost a year now, which seems to be showing some big effects in our business. The first thing is that people like to have common ground. So the most common thing that we found out for people in the U.S. is the high school that they grew up in or the high school that they graduated in. So for me, it's Clear Lake High School. We kind of had a big class. We had over 600 people that graduated. And some people say, well, I went to a small town, only 20 people graduated. And, okay, well, you're just going to have to go to more general terms. But I'll use a high school, for example. You say, on the top of Facebook, there's a search function. Now, it's not just for searching for certain people or businesses or product that you're interested in. It's actually a very intuitive search function, just like Google is. So you can go and type in anything. One of the easiest things that you could do is high school graduation. So instead of typing in the search function, your company name or a friend that you're looking for from the past, you can say people that graduated. Then you type in the name of your high school and the year that you graduated. So say, people that graduated Clear Lake High School in 1993. So you just type in people that graduated, the name of your high school, and then the year that you graduated. Now, it'll most likely, people love to type that stuff in. I don't, but most people like to type it in. So you can have a list of 20 that pop up in the search results, or hundreds of people that type in the search results. And what you're going to find is there's a common bond with these people, whether you knew them or whether you're acquaintances or you have absolutely, just like my high school with hundreds of people, you have absolutely no idea who these people are. But you have a common ground. So it's a two-part process. Number one is to do a friend request. And number two is to just send them a quick message saying, hey, I realize that we graduated the same high school at the same year, just kind of looking to connect and see what people are up to. Something very casual, and that's really what you're wanting to do, is really kind of see what are people doing now? This was a great athlete. I wonder if he's still in sports, or she was one of the most popular people. I wonder if she's in politics. Things like that. So it's just a quick two-step process. Number one is do a friend request. Number two is to send them just a quick message, say, introducing yourself. Hey, I'm just looking to connect with people from high school, and that's it. And then what's going to happen is half the people either won't respond, they don't have their Facebook account really active anymore, and the other half will say yes, sure, I'll connect with them. You're not trying to prospect, you're not trying to recruit, you're not spewing your product knowledge to them or your industry knowledge to them. You're just trying to expand your friends list. So you say, well, one a day, that's pretty easy. Well, 1 out of 2, they're not even going to answer you. It's just how it is. But you can do all sorts of searches. You could do your town and say, oh, I'm a big sports fan. People who like the Tennessee Titans. There's so many different searches that you can do with common ground. Whatever your hobby is, whatever your passion is, besides your business, is start doing those and finding people that have common ground to them. Those people that you connect to, it's going to increase your friends list. So at the end of the year, you may have 350 new friends. You may have 100 new friends. Even if you were, have success, so you have another 180 people that are in your circle of influence. So you've expanded your reach, and chances are, there's math with it that they're going to ask you about, your product or your opportunity. And we'll get into that on the second side of the call here, but it's just expanding your friends list, and that's just something simple and easy you can do. You can do it tonight when you get off the call. You can do it at 2 a.m. You can do it at 5 a.m. You can do it at 5 p.m. at night. It doesn't really matter. It's just whenever they check their Facebook feed. And that's really just one of the things that you can add in addition to, meeting people face-to-face, because it's always better when people are local. It's just easier, faster. You know, there's all sorts of things that we can get into on that. You know, one of the things that you know we have realized is like you were saying, Randy, is that you know you just gotta send people off. You know, oh, I've recruited them. They're good to go, and they're gonna light it up on fire. And then what happens is they talk to people. They may say the right things. They may say the wrong things. They may not follow up with people. All sorts of things happen. And all sorts of things happened when I started my business. And so, you know, we talked a little bit about follow-up, but, you know, how the most important thing is their initial reaction to your business. So whether you met them online via Facebook, whether they met them in person, and it's always like, you know, what do I say first? You know, what do I say that's going to say, wow, please tell me more? What's going to be something that says, you know what, that sounds interesting. You know, what's going to make them go, please give me a presentation. And, you know, going a little fast here today, but, you know, we really want to cram in some good stuff. You know, one of the things that I like to do when I meet new people is ask what they do for a living. And, you know, you don't say it right at the very beginning. My name's Keith. What do you do for a living? But, you know, you go to networking groups, you go to, you know, just, you know, you meet people in social circles and so forth. You know, you're going to ask, you know, oh, by the way, you know, what do you do for a living? Or, you know, what do you like to do for fun? You know, you're going to ask certain questions and they're going to answer you. So we say, you know, let's say I met Randy in a social circle. You know, we all watching the football game. We have some common friends and talking to them for a couple of minutes. You say, oh yeah, by the way, Randy, you know, what do you do for a living? So say Randy sells cars. So he's not going to say, you know, I'm a car salesman. He may say, you know, I sell, you know, Chevrolets. I sell BMWs. You know, I work at this dealership. He's going to give me, you know, just a little, basically he's going to tell me his title. You know, I'm the sales manager, I'm a salesperson, you know, I'm the office manager, and he doesn't really tell me what he does. He just kind of tells me his title. And so many times in network marketing, that's what we tell people. We tell people our title. Oh, I'm a, you know, affiliate with this company. I'm a diamond ambassador with this company. I'm a, you know, a silver bronze with this company. And that tells people absolutely nothing. It completely, for lack of a better term, just gives them your title and really doesn't really excite them. It's just something you put on a business card or something you put on an email, and it's exactly the same with when I meet insurance agents or real estate agents who are in sales, but they say, oh, you know, I sell insurance. Oh, you know, I sell houses. Well, that's really not that exciting. That doesn't say, ooh, please tell me more. But if they're an insurance salesman and they say, oh, you know, I can show you how to get health insurance for $0.25 a day, you know, 25 cents a day, I'm like, I'm in. You know, if the car salesman says, oh, I can get you into your dream car for less money than you spend going out to eat, please tell me more. So it's really what we want to do is get them to come to us and say, wow, please tell me more. So, you know, one of the easiest things to do is say, oh, Randy, okay, I'm a car salesperson. Now, the common thing that Randy's going to say is, oh, by the way, what do you do for a living? So Randy's going to say, oh, by the way, you know, what do you do for a living? So I could tell him my basic, boring answer. I'm an affiliate with, you know, Basic Reset. You know, we have products, you know, and not get their attention. It is true information, but not get their attention. Or I could say something that says, please tell me more. And I'll just go to the advanced one. We don't have time to go to the basic one. But the magic words is, well, you know how. Now, every time you say, well, you know how, people automatically, if you looked in the mirror, everybody on the phone will kind of nod their head saying, oh, he's going to tell me something I already know. He's going to tell me a fact, something that is true. So I say, well, you know how. And this way I can choose the product route or I can choose the opportunity route. So I'll just talk about opportunity tonight. Say, well, you know how people have a hard time making ends meet? Well, I show people how they can earn an extra $500 without getting a second job. Or, well, you know how if people had an extra $500 a month, they'd have less stress in their life? Well, I show people how to do it in their free time without getting an extra job. Well, you know how that people never have enough money to take a dream vacation? I show people how they can do it in the next 6 months. Hey, well, you know how that everybody wants an extra paycheck but doesn't want an extra job? I show people how to get an extra paycheck without an extra job. There's so many things that we could tell people. And the convention we practice this, we had fun with this, and Randy, you could obviously do some follow-ups on this one particular skill. But if we get people to say, please tell me more, it's a lot easier than going out there and trying to convince them. Instead, they're saying, hey, please tell me more. How does that work? Now, will everybody sign up? No, not a chance. Will everybody buy right away? Not even close. But are you going to have more people saying, please tell me more, and you're going to have more people saying, you know what? Let me hear more about this. Please tell me more about what you have going on. And if the timing's right for them, great. So, we take the Facebook example. You've made an extra 200 friends this week, or excuse me, 200 friends this year. You're going to have a lot more people that you can talk to. So, you've connected with an extra couple hundred people this year. Maybe follow up with them in a week and say, hey, went to the same high school together. I noticed in your profile you said that you just moved. What are you up to recently? What are you doing for a living? What made you move to West Virginia? What made you move to Colorado? Was it a job transfer? Things like that where you can message people and say, hey, create a conversation. And it's not to be, let me tell you everything about my company. It's just to get their information and say, you know what? It's common courtesy for them to ask what's going on with you. And that's really all we're trying to do, is make it absolutely easier for the brand new person to say, I can do this. I can create small conversations so people say, please tell me more. And what they're really saying is, please give me a short presentation so I can see if this is something for them. So Randy, it's a little bit of information, but let's take it from there.
Well, it's great information that you gave, and it's what we learned at the convention was, and it's one of the things that I really thought was so cool, is that people could walk away from that, what you taught at the convention, just like they can tonight now. You've taught them something in just a few minutes on this phone call that they can walk away from this call right now and go and put into practical use right away. And that's what's really cool about the way you teach people. And this is one of the reasons why we're heavily promoting your books so that people can get your books, just order them right through the company, is because we want people to be able to understand when they get involved with this company that they are able to have a way, unlike they've probably never had before, because you know as well as I do, people get in this industry and, somebody signs them up and then it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? They're excited about the product, but they don't have a clue. They're not Fred Kaufman, so they don't know everything there is to know about the product. And as a matter of fact, let's kind of touch on that just a little bit, because a lot of times when people get involved in a company, they think that they have to know everything about everything, including, what in the world are all these ingredients? How do I pronounce those names? How do I say that? And what do they do? They think they have to know any of that. And I remember years ago, a fellow that you and I both know, he's gone from this earth now, but Mark Hughes, people used to ask him with his company, and everybody I'm sure has heard of Herbalife, they used to ask him with his company, how does this stuff work? And his answer was, I really don't know. I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, but one thing I do know is I'm using this product and I love it, and if you use it, you'll love it too. He just spake it. So let's talk about that for just a minute. If somebody came to you and you're an affiliate with the company, and somebody came to you and said, I hear about this stuff called Ionite. What's that all about? How would you tell people to respond to that? In other words, you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to explain to them about what organic plant complexes are and live enzymes and all of that, but obviously that you don't need to go through all that. What would you do? I'm putting you on the spot now. So what would you do, buddy?
Well, really, they can ask all sorts of interesting questions. They can ask, what's exactly in it? Or can I get some studies? Or can I do additional research? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm that personality where I like to know everything. And I'll annoy myself. I mean, it's just that bad. But really, it doesn't matter who they are or what personality their dominant personality is they really want to know. They don't really care about us. They don't really care about if the product worked for us. They don't really care about the cost. All they care about is, will the product work for me? It's really, we're all self-centered here. And, if the product worked for me, that's great. They're not going to buy it. But they want to know, is that product going to work for them? Is really all their weird questions. Maybe they just don't want to seem that self-centered, but they're really asking these questions like, is this product going to work for me? And as you know, your products work if you use them. So you have that sense of, hey, this product will work if you use it. So if you have that sense of believability, it's going to be a lot easier. So they say, well, what exactly is in your product? And I say, well, it's on the label, but here's what it did for me. Or it's on the label, and here's what it did for most people, is really what they want to hear. So if they say, okay, what's in Aqualyte? The ingredients are on the label, but let me show you what most people feel. They're going to get more energy. You kind of get some of the benefits of what your product is. Most people are going to sleep better. They're going to have more energy. They're going to get the proper fuel to fuel your body, because water is the most important thing, more than food. Right behind oxygen. Or certain things that you can say. But if you realize that the only reason people are asking you questions is they really want to buy. They're not asking questions not to buy. So they're asking questions to buy, and they want to know, is it going to work for me? So you could say, if they ask you an ingredient question, or, has these products been tested on the blah, blah, blah? You know what? The ingredients are on the label, but here's the result that most people get. And you kind of tell them, depending upon the product. So if it's Aqualyte Ionite, the ingredients are on the bottle, but this is what happens when most people take this product. This is what happens. This is the results that most people get. And that's really what they want to know. They really want to talk themselves into buying, is really they're asking the question. So it's really up to us to talk them out of it, because they are interested. So, if you have that confidence that your products work, and they do work if you take them, then you will never have to worry about knowing every single ingredient in your product, or the amounts, or the price. We can go all sorts of things about price. People really don't buy on price. If so, we'd all have the same car, we'd all live in the same house, and we'd all, wear the exact same clothes. People buy things for certain reasons. Price of product really doesn't matter. Of course, your products are priced, regular. They're not exorbitant. If it's a ridiculous price, people will find out. But as long as any product is priced normal, meaning you're not selling a bottle of vitamins for $1,000. So as long as products are priced in a reasonable amount, people want to buy. It has nothing to do with price. It's really all about what's it going to do for me. So hopefully that answers your question.
Well, yeah, it does, and I like the fact that you used some key words that I learned from you some time ago. Again, to me, like you said, well, how. Those other key words that you used in the explanation of what you were just talking about here is most people. When you use the words most people, everything you say after that is pretty much accepted as a true statement because most people believe it. And when you say that, it gets them to being relaxed and understanding that here's what the majority of people, basically what you're saying is here's what the majority of people are experiencing, and so it kind of falls right in line with what we just talked about earlier, where how people get to the end of the month and they're out of money, or they get to the end of the money and a lot of months left, and I do is I show them how not to do that. How people, how most people wish that they could have more time off, maybe have a 3 or 4 day weekend. Well, I show them how they can have a 5-day weekend every week. And, and it's just cool stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you one more thing, and then I've had you on here for quite a while, and I know you got stuff to do, but I want to ask you one more thing. And again, maybe it'll kind of put you on the spot, and if it does, just go ahead and tell me. But of all of the
Let's
things,
do it.
I'm gonna do it for me. Your years in the industry, if you were to pick one thing that you did that caused your business to grow, of all the things you've learned that if you were to just say, if there's one thing that I could choose that would be the most beneficial to people, what would you say that would be? Now, I know you've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, any event. Well, here's one analogy, and if you don't like sports, at least you know the sport, and it's football. The most important player, and chances are the person that makes the most money is the quarterback. And there could be a couple players that make more money, but the person that they're always trying to protect, the person that normally makes, he's going to make at least more than half the team. I mean, he's definitely on the top half of the pay grade. He's a person that everybody wants to protect. He's the most powerful person, and it's normally it always is really the quarterback. Now, here's a weird thing, is that the quarterback, in all honesty, doesn't do much. He doesn't really score a lot of touchdowns. He normally gives the ball to somebody else. He normally hands the ball off to a running back, a fullback. Even easier, he just throws it to somebody else. He throws it to a tight end, a wide receiver. Really, he's just the guy that's just passing the ball, giving the ball, handing out the ball. That's his job, and he gets big money. I mean, ridiculous money. Everybody else is doing the hard work. The guys in the offense, they're trying to keep back these 250-pound, 300-pound guys. They're protecting the quarterback. He hands off the ball. They're the ones that are, risking injury, trying to not get tackled. He throws the ball. They're trying to catch the ball and risk the injury of not getting tackled. The quarterback is really the most useless player out there, but he makes a lot of money. So what does he really do? All he does is pass along the ball. And in our business, we're a quarterback. We don't have to do any of the company stuff. We don't have to do the inventory, the research and development, the account management, the commissions payout, the checks or the automatic drafts, or the legal stuff, or oh my gosh, what a nightmare. All we have to do is give information. So just like you said earlier, Randy, we don't have to learn every single thing about the product. We just have to give the information to people. We have to pass along the information. So it could be the pass along the information about the company, pass along information about the product, pass along information about the compensation plan. But the best thing we could ever do is if someone joins our business, whether they're brand new or what we call a rejoin. A rejoin is someone that joined and didn't do anything, and then 6 months later they go, man, you know what, the timing's right. I know I've been involved for 6 months, but you know, things are just getting tight. I'm not really sure about my job situation, not sure about my future. I really need to do something for myself I'm in. And the information that you could pass along is an event. An event could be like this conference call. An event can be, a meeting in your dining room. It doesn't even have to be your living room. It could just be like, hey, we're going to have an event, and we're going to just kind of discuss some strategies, and we're kind of get a game plan, maybe accountability partner, and we're going to make sure that we talk to at least one person a day or make a new friend a person a day. So really, if we could use leverage, just like the quarterback, use the leverage of passing along your information. Because an event, I know how it is. You might have come back from convention and someone says, oh, can you tell me all about convention? You're like, well, it was 8 hours, and there was a lot of people there, and there was a lot of information. There was a lot of energy there, and there's absolutely no way you can catch people up. But if you promote conference calls, which are mini events, and if you promote upcoming events, what's going to happen is you don't have to learn all the information and then pass it along. You don't have to learn all the information and hopefully it'll soak in. You don't have to learn all the information with the energy of the room or energy of a conference call and have to pass along the information. If you can just promote the calls, promote the events, promote anything you have going on, promote the Facebook group page. If you become a professional promoter, not only is your job easier, like the lazy quarterback that makes millions of dollars a year, if you become a professional promoter of events, number one, it's going to make your life a lot easier, but also you're not the expert. You don't have to worry about knowing everything. And if it's coming from somebody else, it's more powerful. So if I say, oh, you know what? This product is amazing. Okay. Some people know me and say, okay, that's great, whatever, big deal. But if I say, oh, I'm going to bring in this expert, I'm going to bring in Randy, I'm going to bring in Fred, and they're going to talk about this product, the next thing you know, they're leaning forward going, oh, somebody, it's not Keith talking, it's Randy, it's Fred. They're going to be talking about the product, about how this really works and the research about it. So I have more believability in the product. So if you become a professional promoter of events and personal development, it doesn't have to be my book. It can be a book that changed your life, and then hopefully it's going to change their life. It could just be something like as simple as some of the classics, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you promote that book instead of reading the book and then trying to recite the 200 pages of paperback to them, just become a professional promoter. Become the quarterback. If you just remember anything, everyone make a commitment, but also become the quarterback. Become the person that promotes. Don't worry about being the expert. Keep promoting the conference calls. Keep promoting the next time you have an event. I think you guys have events about every quarter. And if you bring a car full of people to the next event, it's just like it's just like inviting 10 friends to this conference call. Things start to happen. Because they're not hearing it from you. They'll hear it from you a little bit, but they're going to hear it from other experts in the field. And that's where the believability in themselves, in their future, in the industry, in your company, in your product line, that's where the magic happens. I shared the story before at another conference call. I think I shared it here at the event, but same thing that happened to me. I joined. They said, hey, come to Dallas, Texas. I said, perfect. I sponsored my best friend. We went to Dallas, Texas. Made a commitment for 90 days and say, hey, we're gonna come to the next event. We're gonna bring a van full of people. And of course, the next event we totally flopped. It was just us two. We didn't have a van full of people. Heck, we barely even had an organization. We just had a handful of people. But a year went by of just promoting the events, and we had smaller events, not just just small events. A year later, we were looking at our group, and we had 66 people at the Hyatt in Chicago O'Hare, in 1996, and we said, oh my gosh, it went from absolute 100% failure to having 66 people that paid the money to come to a national convention at the time, and we saw that's where it paid off. And of course, actually, a year later, it turned into 800, but that's a completely separate story that we can't get into. But it was all from just promoting the events and promote, be the quarterback, and that's really where you're going to see success. So, Randy, I'll throw it back over to you.
Hey, it's really interesting that you brought that up, because just on my video today, I talked about that we basically have one job, and that is to share our products and our opportunity with people. That's all. Because the decision to buy is based on them. It's not based on you. It's based on them. They're the ones that are going to make that decision. So basically, I was saying the same thing as what you are, is promote. And whatever it is, the conference calls, the whole reason that these calls are done is not for the person that's been with the company for a long time. Obviously, they can learn stuff on every call, because I learn stuff when Fred gets on and talks on the calls all the time. But it's really designed for the people that are new on the call, the guests that are on the call, so they have an opportunity to hear from a third party what this is all about. And so I really that just fits perfect with what I was talking about earlier today. And Keith, I want to thank you so much for being on the call. We've been on about 50 minutes now. I got one more thing that I need to talk about, but I appreciate you so much taking your time and coming back on and doing the call. And we'd like to have you on a call down the road again. If we talk real nice, can we get you to come on once again down the road sometime?
You bet. You practice the skills, and look forward to hearing some testimonials, because if people put this simple things into practice, just like we're both talking about being promoters and talking about what people do for a living, getting people to lean forward, they're going to see some good results, and we look forward to hearing some great testimonials as well. Yeah, you bet. Anytime. Okay,
I greatly appreciate that. And again, I want to thank you so much for being on the call tonight and following up. And I hope that you have a blessed day, blessed evening, and a blessed day tomorrow. And I appreciate you being here, my friend. And
all right, likewise.
Folks,
we'll speak to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it, Keith. Thanks. Folks, you heard what Keith had to say. These were some of the things he touched on at convention, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can learn from his book. So I want to encourage you because you can go to your store and click on promotional items, and you can find the books there. I encourage you to order the books. And Penny Cal, by the way, is doing a training. She's going over one book at a time and doing a training on, and you read the book with her. She's going to say, look, you need to read chapter so-and-so of this book. And you talk about it, and you kind of get to learn how to do things a little bit. So it's extremely important that you get some of those books and learn, because this stuff will help you. Now, I want to bring up one more thing of housekeeping. Many of you yesterday were noticing that the website was up and down all day long. Well, we've had to do some upgrading, what we call upgrading on the website, because we're getting more and more people joining our company all the time. But one of the things that does create a problem is when people go into their back office and log into their back office, and then when they leave, they just X out of it. They don't log out of it. Well, what happens is when you X out, it doesn't log you out of the back office. So if you have 1,000 people that checked their website today and logged into their back office and didn't log out, that's 1,000 connections into that system, into our computer system that is left open. So that's 1,000 places that people can't log into. So if you'll just be kind enough when you go to your back office, when you've looked at it, instead of just Xing out of it, log out of it. And I know people say, well, gee, then I got to enter my password and username all the time. Well, you don't have to. If you have a computer that has a memory, all you got to do is say, remember me. Each one of you has that ability to do that, and it will remember it and put it in there for you automatically. So you just click in, it will put it in there, you log in, and just log off. And I'm guilty of it. I did the same thing. So, but if you just remember to do that. Now, one quick other thing I want to talk to you about. I said in the beginning of this call that I was going to tell you how to triple or quadruple your income. Now, here's how you do that. You know that when you log into your website, the very first things that you see on the main website, it talks about how if you will just simply go out and find 3 people to purchase the similar products or more that you're purchasing, you end up getting your products for free. Now, how that works is when you sign up these 3 people, whether they're customers or affiliates, when you sign them up and they order the products, for example, that you're ordering, which they probably are because you're going to talk to them about maybe Aqualyte and Ionite and Vibrant, for example, and they say, well, gee, I want those products, and they order them. The commission that you earn from those sales is enough money to pay for the cost of your products. So your products are basically free to you. Now, most people, when they do that, will say, gee, now I got my products for free. I bet I could go out next month and find 3 more people. Or maybe over the next 2 months, I could find 3 more people. And I could now start making, from that point on, I'm making money every time. Not only are my products free, I'm going to get a commission check all the time. Well, do you know that if you decided to do that once a month in 30 days, find 3 people, that's 1 person every 10 days. If you could just do that, and you did that every 30 days, your business would triple and quadruple. Every month it would increase. Every single solitary month. If you just went out and said, all I'm going to do is look for 3 people this month. Now, you might say, but gee, Randy, I want to sponsor 100. Well, you'll end up sponsoring 100. You'll end up sponsoring more. And I want you to understand something. It's not about the number of people that you sponsor. It's about the number of people that you sponsor that purchase product. If you went out and sponsored 1,000 people tomorrow and not one of them purchased any product, what have you accomplished? What have you gained? Nothing. But if you went out and sponsored 30 people and they all ordered product, you got a tremendous amount of income coming in. So if you'll just concentrate on that first level, the 35% commission level, say, look, I want to make an extra $500 this month. Okay, well, figure out how many people do you have to get purchasing product at 35% commission to make $500. And then you just go out and work towards that. And if you'll just concentrate on that first level, guess what will happen? All the other levels take care of themselves. But it all starts with 3. Your first goal when you sponsor somebody, the first thing they should be doing is saying, okay, I don't want to pay for my product, so I want to get them for free. So you help them and you show them how. All they got to do is go out and find 3 people. When they find 3 people ordering the same amount of product or the similar type products that they're ordering, the amount of commission that you earn will pay for your own products, and your products are free. You've got no cost out of your pocket to get the products that you want from the company. Just finding 3 people. If everybody did that, you would grow. Your organization would triple every single solitary month. If everybody did the same thing, it would automatically triple. Now, I don't know what you're making right now for commission, but how would you like to have it triple next month? And how would you like to have it triple the month after that? And how would you like to have it triple the month after that? Guys and gals, it's absolutely astounding when you start to put the numbers to this. So very simple. Get in the company. Your first goal is to find 3 people that will buy similar products to you or spend about the same money that you're spending. And when you do that, you've made enough commission at 35% to pay for the cost of your own product. Now everybody's sponsor after that is cream of the crop. It's all money to you. Now those 3 people are going to say, gee, I think I'd like to get my products for free. And they do the same thing, and now guess what? You're making commission there. And those 3 people go out and say, gosh, I'd like to do the same thing. And now you're making override commission there. So guys and gals, it's an amazing, amazing structure that we have here with this company, Basic Reset. So I would like to thank you all for being on this call tonight. I'd like to thank you for taking your time to listen to what we had to say. I'd like to thank Keith Strider for being on the call with us and sharing again what he shared at the convention, and for Penny Kyle for welcoming people, doing such a great job. And I want you to remember something that I say each and every time that I talk, and that's this. Wherever you go, there you are. Always make the most of it, because I can guarantee you that nobody's going to do it for you. This call is recorded. It will be in the Basic Reset Freedom Group room, and Fred will be sending it out. We'll see you next Thursday night. Have a wonderful weekend. Adios, everybody. Bye-bye.